very shortly after I moved back to the States in 2006. And, this is an obituary I wrote for Jack yesterday. For over 10 years now, I've plowed ahead as a working, struggling artist and musician, knowing that no matter how hard I was working for nothing, that there was always this other guy out there still working even harder for less. I am talking about Florida's greatest living writer, and now he's gone. Jack Saunders died yesterday at the age of 78. Jack liked saying he'd spring to the easel every morning before sunrise. There he would face the empty page as though it were a firing squad for which he had refused a blindfold, staring down fear and self-doubt from behind his keyboard as he went to working with words. His craftings were amalgamations of the morning's caffeine, last night's dream, and a life lived through voracious reading and astute observations of both the world at large and his own personal struggle with it. There is liberation in discovery, he told me, in writing. In all, Jack wrote over 400 books. Yes, 400, not 40. These were novels, poetries, and essays, and chronicles of what he liked to call the conditions of production. His writing was not so much about his life as it was a personal study of it, both historically and in real time. And this is some real shit we are talking about here. And if you're an artist of any stripe, trying to make a name for yourself, reading Jack Saunders will either embolden you with a sense of resolve and self-purpose and destiny, or send you running for cover, as though you had seen your own ghost in a dark closet. One of his mottos, and he had many, was, "We'll write for food, we'll write for free, we'll pay to write." And that is commitment. And if you're an artist, you either have it or you don't. And if you don't, you're not an artist. Jack would joke that his readership, which he called the buzzard cult, was numbered in the high ones, which wasn't exactly accurate, but his point was clear. He was happy to have the readers he had, and he wrote for them dutifully. The very enormity of his body of work made him something of an impenetrable forest. And maybe this had something to do with his lack of commercial success. I shared him with some reading friends who I hope might appreciate his skill, his perspective, his intelligence, his black, ironic humor, and the enormously high entertainment value of his self-effacing, understated voice. But it could be difficult to find an opening into the Saunders woodland. There was an immediate sense that what you were reading was very good, but a deepening sense that it might not really be going anywhere. But reading Jack Saunders isn't about being taken somewhere. It's about being on board for a romp through the vicissitudes of his life. And moreover, being right there with him at the keyboard in the morning as he faced that firing squad and gave himself up the page. He self-published some half-dozen books, hundreds, maybe even thousands of chapbooks, and was a pioneer in posting on the web. But he was never able to draw the full committed attention of a publisher. But he submitted to them relentlessly, sending off samples of his work to agents and editors of some of the publishing world's most reputable offices. A high percentage of the submissions were cleverly cloaked attacks on the very institutions to which he was appealing. Many were hilarious, some were sad, but they were all testaments to his dignity and his persistence and unflagging belief in his value, and therefore stand today as some of the singularly most important components of his work. I don't know what will happen to Jack's work. I am hopeful that it will survive the test of time and that one day he will get the readership I feel he so much deserves. But I'm not sure it matters, if he does or not. Or if in his final days he was really concerned with the question of his legacy. Because in the end, a lifetime of dedication to his craft had served Jack well enough. Because it was work well done, and he knew it. And perhaps that's all that really matters.